Town Council is back in session at 7:35. Is there a motion to note that no votes were taken in executive session and seal the minutes according to Rhode Island General Law 42-46-5A2, sessions pertaining to collective bargaining or litigation, work sessions pertaining to collective bargaining or litigation, and one opioids negotiation class action. Regards to national prescription opioid litigation, MDL number 2804 of the Code in Ohio, potential litigation out of Smithfield, Rhode Island, civil suit against those legally responsible for the wrongful distribution of prescription opiates and damage caused thereby.
So,
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second? Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Margoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. O'Shea?
yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, North Smithfield Town Council sitting as the Board of License Commissioners. Victory license, Walmart Stores East LP, doing business as Walmart number 2225. Is there anybody here from Walmart? You go for the podium? Please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Erlen. My name is Erlen. And Don is here with me.
Like Donna.
Yeah.
Carolyn, your positions, you mind, driver, what's your name, is it Ferland?
Erlen.
Oh, Ferland.
H-E-R-L-A-N.
Got that, I just made the F and H. Your positions, Carolyn? Is what
I'm
Walmart?
the store manager.
Okay,
Assistant.
thank you. Solicitor, what we have in front of us, we have a more complete application this time. And we have the State of Rhode Island Municipal Business Application. Are we required to have a town business application? We are.
It's one and the same.
They're one and the same, so they've been melded and I missed that, right? All right, thank you. Let's see if it has questions. I'll make a motion to approve the victory license for Walmart.
A motion by Mrs. Zelinski to approve the victory license. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Margoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. You're all set, thank you. You can pick that up in your office, correct? Next item is a kennel license, Dylan Goudreau. I'm going to look for a motion to table to the October 21st, 2019 meeting because there are some issues that are not put together yet.
So moved, Mr. President.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Margoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes. Next item, old business, discussion by council vote other action on update by municipal building review task force. First item is a change order alarm in England. Mrs. Zelinski has notified me that he would like this an action, discussion by council vote other action on motion to reconsider. Mr. Zelinski.
Mr. President, I believe this has to do with the number of drops, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the number of drops, we had some,
Mr. Vice President, I need to interrupt you. The first motion needs to.
Need to make a motion to reconsider.
Needs to be made, seconded, and then let's approve the packet back on the agenda.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion to reconsider the vote on the, well, I was just referring to them as electrical drops for internet access, telephone access, and wiring of the building. So I want to make sure I have the right infrastructure.
It was before you as change order for alarm doing. That's the way it was.
Oh, okay, so I'd like to reconsider the vote for alarm doing.
Pursuant to Rule 10, that motion has been listed as item A. If you make that motion, it's seconded, and it gets approved, then you go to B.
So moved.
So there's a motion to reconsider. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm just to make sure I'm clear. So this was listed under your name.
The task force is always listed under my name, but
You want to take call done in the
Well, Vice President said
it
there
was
was
to be old and new. Trying to compare.
the task force, the update from the task force is always under my name. It carries every month. It's an update, but this month we have, there has been a request for reconsideration.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Mrs. Marmoni?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
No.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadenais?
Yes.
And now be back.
So now the motion that was made at the previous meeting was to deny the change order from Allow New England in the amount of $32,778 for additional drops for voice and data cables at the new town hall. That was the original motion, was to deny. So we need to bring that motion back up.
The discussion on the original, right, on the change order on, again.
And the motion was to deny, so we're reconsidering that motion, so that's a motion that needs to be made again, correct? Now that we're reconsideration.
Well, the motion was made to reconsider the item.
We just did.
It did, so the item is back on the floor. Any motion you can make now.
Any
to
motion
deny
you
or
can make.
approve.
Reasons came about, the administrator had contacted me, said to reconsider. Originally, I said no. But I listened to Gary, he had some points. I think very confusing that during the discussion we had the first time, someone referred to the previous building review committee saying that there should be about 200 drops. And then there was discussion about a second proposal with the other committee. Things have changed. Bear with me as I work my way through this. We're no longer, I believe, I would like to believe that we're no longer going to have the school department working out of that building, so we don't have as many employees required that will be in that building. Correct me if I'm wrong. And also the need itself for 198 or 200 units, because the discussion we had that night was much of this can be facilitated with wireless. We're going to have certain telephone, landlines, and connections to our let's say, antiquated computers. So at that point, I brought it up so that we could reconsider. I guess the administrator is going to carry you ready to get your points. Is this the points, by the way? Is that supposed to hand out tonight? Is that what we got tonight? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. After your action to decline approval of the change order, the issue was left to me to determine what to do next. And what I did was go through the proposals, get information from the proposer, and also go outside to entities that I respect to be able to get insight onto the concept of wired versus wireless. Also received information from others. Councilwoman Vadenais offered insights that were provided by her son, who is a project manager with Demio, and involved in the management of projects for major corporations as we speak. The sum of my assessment is that we indeed need our new town hall to be wired. The assessments that I understood coming from leadership of some of, at least two of Rhode Island's top providers of network architecture, both recognized in Providence Business News in the past couple of weeks. One, as I indicated in my note to you, when I asked the question, his response was, in my opinion, this is a no-brainer. A wired system provides faster speeds, more management control, and more importantly, greater security. That was also the opinion of a second gentleman with similar skills, providing services to other Rhode Island communities as we speak. The other thing that I think is important to recognize is that none of our existing equipment is equipped with wireless cards. Some of our equipment will not be able to be made wireless. We have, a lot of our resources are not new. We stretch them, and that's fine. I did it in my own business. I see no reason to just replace something because something new is available. If equipment is still functioning and providing the service that we need, there is no reason to replace it. But if we have to, in making things wireless, there is need to make to know that each of these pieces is capable of being made wireless. Printers that we have, copiers that we have, so on. Another aspect of what's happening is that we don't have a full-time IT person, as you all know. I've had a problem with this laptop over the past few days. I messaged the problem on Thursday. I still don't necessarily have it resolved. I got the workaround done today. We don't have someone at our fingertips to be able to just come in and fix things. I think our clerk has experienced similar circumstances. And that's not a criticism of our current IT resource. He's very good. He's one part-time person. And I think it's important to recognize that. Finally, there's the circumstance that we're going to be moving over weekends at best. We have to be able to shut down on a Friday afternoon and be functional on a Monday morning, maybe a Tuesday morning if there's a holiday involved. We don't have a team of 20 people to be able to come in and change everything. It's going to be a circumstance where people have to pick up their computer and bring it to the new building and hope they can work on the next day. That may sound crude. It's what it is. We're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to move people or equipment from building to building. My advice to you, frankly, is that we do need this. Well, I guess one final point. In analysis of the change order, the cost per drop actually went down by 20% or more, from $262 per drop in the original proposal to $211 per drop in the change order proposal. No one's taking advantage of us here. We have a provider that is interested in getting this done and getting it done within the time frame allotted. Now, also keep in mind that our building is now being painted. There's ceiling tile on the floor in cartons waiting to be put in place. We don't have a lot of time to be going out for a new design of the whole system and the installation, bidding that and doing an installation of that new design. We are at risk of having a building completed without being able to be used. And that is something that I don't relish the circumstance of having to say so, but I won't be moving people to a building that I can't use, that they can't use. So my advocacy is that this change order be reconsidered and that the proposal by Alarm New England for the additional $32,778 be approved. Absent that, frankly, folks, I don't know what we do. I think we wind up with a building that's going to be empty when the construction's complete.
Anyone else?
So basically, we heard the 58 drops have not been installed yet, correct? Waiting because of roof and paint. The cards that would be needed for improving the older computer systems are what, $20, $25 or something like that? Is that, do we have an estimate? Gary?
No.
Do you have one? Okay. Mr. President, I spoke to a gentleman that wanted to speak on this issue. We can open this up to the public.
We need to decide on the road.
I was gonna say, Paul, can I talk before?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So, I hear what Gary's saying, and I know at the last meeting,
I was trying to say is that this is about planning. And I think that we should have planned for a wireless system, or the capabilities to support a wireless system into the future. This is about our data architecture as well. I know there's the complaints about security, and a lot of times when you look at it and you talk to people in the industry, it's more of employee risk, you get phished through an email, it's how you optimize your network, which is the real vulnerability there, not wired or wireless. They both have an equal chance. I've spoken to people that are highly regarded in the industry as well, at a national level, and they say the improvements in wireless technology nowadays is vastly diminished. I mean, it's just as comparable in areas as a wired connection. And that the greatest issue, again, is employee risk. What seems to be the standard going forward is that you usually have one wired connection for a phone or desktop, and that's pretty much it. You keep your wired connections to a minimum, and you build out your infrastructure in terms of a wireless connection. And even in the emails from Terry's son, he even mentions relatively that maybe one for the computer or maybe one for the desk phone, but again, it comes down to who's handling our network architecture. And, you know, again, we should be holding the architect more accountable, unless I misinterpret what he was saying, for design flaws. So again, I don't understand how we went from 50 to 150 to 198. That is a huge increase and a huge cost. I'd rather see us support what we need to support and then figure out, do we need to capitalize computers and replace them on a more continuous life cycle instead of waiting 10, 20 years and now in these situations. So that's all I have to say. I understand that we're going to probably need wired in the building, but we should be keeping it at what we need to support the day-to-day, not just have wires around and we're spending this cost that we may never use on the wires.
Can I say something?
So in his email, yes, he did question who was in charge. And just so we understand, the project he just finished was the engineering building at URI, and he does the mechanicals. And the project before that was the new Citizens Complex, which is all hardwired because of security. So that's where he was coming from.
You know, the reference keeps being made that why did the architect do this? This was a decision that was made by previous boards and commissions in the town.
At the 50?
But
No, you said at the 50.
at any number, the decision wasn't made on the number of drops. The decision was made that the construction project done by the architect did not include IT, security, and FF&E. They were not part of the process. They were never part of the process. They were always outside of the process. You were going to have somebody else design a system and then come in and overlay it into somebody else's system. We work with people that got that done. That's where we're at now. It's nobody's blame that who forgot to do this and who didn't do this. The town has always owned it outside of the construction process. It was always outside of the construction process from day one. Always.
But don't you see don't you see a disconnect there? Like why?
I do, but that wasn't the decision that we made.
Right, so
That's what this is what we were given to deal
So,
with.
Mr. President, what decision was determined on the bid? Was it 50 or was it the 198?
We looked at a set of drawings.
And was it 50 or 198?
We looked at a set of drawings that had drops in them, and they gave us a bid. After that fact, the town's IT guy went through the building because we couldn't do any of this till we had construction documents that were ready for building, which were only done on March 15th.
So shouldn't we have gone out to bid on the new ones again? Why didn't we, when we saw that there was an increase, how do we know that the 211 per drop is the best right now? That's what I want to know. I don't know if 211 per drop, that's great.
We went
He's
over-
giving you a volume discount. That's what they're giving you. They're not giving you it because it's generous. They understand this predicament, but he doesn't want us to go back out to bid and lose this
We
contract.
didn't know what to bid. We got it off from the state bidders. We got it off from master prices.
So do we know that the 211 is the best deal then?
Yes. According to my son, it is. They pay $1,000.
Is that verified by the town? Do we know for a fact? I mean, we don't have a data architect, right? So we don't know for a fact if 200 drop lines is accurate or not. That is what my point is. I don't care if we have wired or wireless at this point, as long as we're doing it with fiscal responsibility and we're doing what makes the most sense. Not because we're just doing it to pay overcharge. I mean, I get it, but 250, that's a big error.
It's not an error.
If I could, this is not,
an error.
an architect put drops on a plan and without input from the administration. That's it. An architect put drops on a plan. I went through the plan with the IT coordinator and determined where in fact we needed to have a drop for every purpose. Every phone, every desktop, every wall display unit, the council chamber, the school department offices will have drops. Those potential desk spaces will have drops. EMA, the whole building. I mean, the number of desk spaces that are extra in this building is absolutely minimal. The